to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars, crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back. Welcome back to the UFO Investigation Office. Yeah, right. I think we are streaming on Twitter as well. In fact, I see Gunky Fadgets on Twitter. So, congratulations. Seem to be working. Right. It's a solo all in tonight, chaps. But we'll do our best. We'll do our best. Just waiting. The chat room. Bonk. No, I'm not. I'm waiting in the chat room coming in. So we've got Emma, Julie, Ray, hi Ray, Jedi, evening sir, and Gunky's over on Twitter. Oh, yeah. Gunky's over on Twitter. Looks great, he says. Excellent. Good. So we'll see how that goes. Just bear with me. As you know, I need a producer, which I don't have and can't afford, and no one appears to want to do it for nothing. But hey, we'll carry on. We've got some slides tonight. I thought we'll go through the news. It's been one hell of a week, is it not? I mean, how close to nuclear war are we in real terms? It's hard to tell because, you know, there'll be a lot of brinksmanship and gamesmanship about this, but ultimately, you've still got to think. I think Putin might do it if he had to, you know. So, I think the problem is, and we touched on this last night, I think the problem is that the West doesn't think the same way as the East. And when I say the East, I'm meaning Eastern Europe and the Slavic mentality more than anything, really, because, and I probably include Russians in that to a degree, because I think they are kind of that way inclined. But, you know, if they think, I mean, look what they did in World War II, right? Because as you know, Hitler invaded Russia, and he's romping across Russia, and the Russians had to pull back. They couldn't stop him. I mean, Blitzkrieg was a great weapon. It worked really, really well. That's the Polish. Sorry, how many people can I alienate, in 5 minutes? But so he's romping across Russia, and the Russians destroyed everything in his path. I mean, they literally razed their country to the ground. They knocked down factories, they burnt farmland, they destroyed crops. So the Germans had nothing. They had nothing to sustain them. And then they waited until the winter came, and that's when they started to push back. So you've got a completely different mindset here, because I don't think we would do that. I don't think we wouldn't destroy. Would you destroy your homes and people's houses and factories and everything as you pulled back from them, or would you just run, and set up a defensive line somewhere else? But no, the Russians deliberately destroyed absolutely everything in the path of Hitler's advance. And ultimately, that's probably what stopped them, because, by the time he got so far into Russia, his logistics lines were so huge, the winter was so bad, he couldn't get the stuff to the front, and ultimately that's probably what did it more than anything. And then, then the Russians just kept coming, and ultimately, it was them, I think, that freed most of the concentration camps, and certainly got most of Germany. I would think. But anyway, so apparently, and I said at the time, or as near to the time as damn it, I said it wasn't an ICBM that he fired at Ukraine, and apparently it wasn't. It was an intermediate new, not experimental, but new type of missile, which is hypersonic plus, and Putin's quite categorically saying that the West has no defence to this missile, and he'll use it if he has to. And he's already made noises about targeting that radar listening station that the US have built in Poland. So, I'm not trying to play sides here, but this isn't as straightforward as people think. This isn't just the big bad, Putin's a bad guy and invaded, and that's it. He's not a good guy, and nobody's saying he is, but you've got to put some blame on the Americans, particularly around 2014 in Ukraine, when they effectively deposed a democratically elected leader in order to put in their guy who was pro-West and not pro-Russian. And Victoria Nuland's caught on tape on the telephone to our ambassador discussing who they're going to put in the Ukrainian parliament, who's going to lead it, who's going to do what. And, the ambassador at one point turns around and goes, well, I don't think Europeans will like that. And Nuland, and it is Nuland, there's no doubt about it, just turns around and goes, well, fuck the EU. And really, that's the kind of attitude that America espouses when it goes about its business. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping we don't get any nuclear weapons dropped on us, especially in Britain, because one, Britain's not very big, and two, we've got an awful lot of juicy targets, and one of them's not far from where I am, Coolport, where they keep the submarines and the nuclear weapons. You drop a bomb up there, and if it's a small one, it might be okay because the prevailing wind is westerly, so all the radiation goes to the east coast. There's always a silver lining in every cloud, isn't there? Anyway, so we would have to see what happens. Yeah, it does suck. Oh, X sucks, says Ray. Hey, you know what? I'm giving it a shot, but it's significantly sharper on X, says Gunky, but about 20, 30 seconds behind YouTube. Well, okay. Is it sharper? Or are you running at full screen, and are you making sure that YouTube is delivering what I'm putting out? Because I'm putting out a 1080 signal, so you should be getting. It can't really, well, it shouldn't be sharper. But then again, YouTube does. It does do its thing with compression and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe. Right. I'm not streaming in 4K. I'm just not going to stream in 4K. Putting up videos in 4K is hard enough because it takes so long. But let's have a look at some slides then, shall we? So, and you know, Ukraine's not a paragon of virtue, and we know that. I mean, anyone should know that Ukraine has had plenty of problems in the past, and a lot of them, I think, caused by the American way of doing things. And I think I put a video up on X, explaining that. So, you've done a side by side. Cheers, Gunky. I'll have a look at that later. So yeah, I put a video up on X because I couldn't put it up on YouTube because for some reason don't like the facts. What can you say? So I don't know if I like the lighting here. I might have to fix this at some point because I look kind of washed out, don't I? But anyway, regardless of that, we'll persevere. We'll carry on. So where was I? Yeah, Ukraine's not a paragon of virtue, and appeals here that the up to half of the West. This is a Polish former Polish minister saying up to half of the Western aid to Ukraine was stolen within the country. Are we really surprised? Are we? I'm just not. I'm not surprised at all. I'm feeling fine, Julie. Thank you for asking. I think I might eat tomorrow though. I think I've done well. I haven't had any food since last Sunday at 6 o'clock. So that's coming up on. I don't know. That must be about 120 something hours or something like that. So I think I might eat tomorrow. I miss eating. Don't really feel that hungry, but. I've done enough for good autophagy, so what I think I should do is probably get some protein in and start rebuilding now, but try and keep it on the kind of keto carnivore type diet, probably OMAD, which is just one meal a day. So yeah, right. Regardless of that, it looks like they took a lot of money and used it for their own devices, and we knew that was happening. Yeah, I mean, look at Zelensky. He's got houses all over the place. He's got a villa in Florida. It is a gangster state. It was a gangster state. It is a gangster state. Number 3 in the world for producing child pornography. It is a terrible, terrible record on women's rights and human rights. It's continually castigated by the UN and the reports right up to 2019, 2020. You can go on the UN website and you can look at the report. You can go on the American government websites and look at the reports, and you can go on the EU websites and look at the reports that they've written about EU and continually telling them they've got to be better, they've got to try harder, especially since they were wanting to join the EU. So they were continually getting done. Continually. So yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a. As I said, it's not a paragon of virtue. That's not to excuse what Putin's done, but you can understand with the provocation and the fact that I think, you know, if you look up to Putin coming into when Russia came into Ukraine in February 2022, when they came in February 2022, the shelling of the Donbass had increased from almost none in September to like 4 times, 6 times what it had ever been by January. So, you know, Ukraine's shelling its own citizens. Yeah, they may be ethnically Russian or wanting to join Russia, but it's still no excuse to knock 7 bells out of them, is it? So, yeah. I think we'll leave Ukraine at that. I think we've probably talked about it enough because apart from the fact that the British, did you see the British general who said if we had to fight, we would fight. We would fight tonight. We'd be ready. Yeah, okay. You might fight, but I think you'd probably lose convincingly. I don't think Britain's in any fit state. How many tanks have we got? 211 or something? Yeah. It's just not gonna work out. And people go on about, you know, it's like, you know, you can't appease Putin, and we talked about this again last night. You can't appease Putin, or you're going to end up with no Europe, or you're just going to. Well, why would he? Why would he do that? You know, if you appease him, and it's not even appeasement, is it? Because remember, we did have a deal on the table, and even if you got him to go back to that deal, or even slightly worse, I think you'd be doing all right. Except you've lost hundreds of thousands of people needlessly killed in this conflict on both sides. Needlessly killed, all because that the West wanted to weaken Russia. And I don't know why they still see Russia as an adversary. Because Putin applied to join NATO. He wanted to do business with the West. I don't understand. I mean, Russia isn't a massive country. So it can only, to my view, it can only be that America wants its resources. And it wants them on the cheap. Instead of having to buy them, it wants them on the cheap, because Russia, I mean, it's basically empty and it's full of resources. It's full of rare earth minerals, it's full of coal, it's full of oil. It's got everything you need. So I can only assume that the US wanted it on the cheap. So there we go. Skins, that's a new name. I don't know who Skins is, do I? Do I know who Skins is? Right, anyway. Let's move on. I added the go broke myself, but yeah. So this Jaguar advert kind of has backfired on them, hasn't it? It's really not done well. And when you look at the guy that they hired, it's like they've jumped onto a bandwagon when everybody else is jumping off it. Oh, it's Mick. It's Mick Skins, of course it is. Good to see you, Mick. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, so Jaguars they're jumping on a bandwagon, everybody else is jumping off. Even Bud Light, like we talked about last night, even Bud Light, I've got an advert out now poking fun at woke. So Jaguar I really don't know. I really don't know. But let's move on. The Guardian. It's at time we ditched the word gardening. The term might seem inoffensive, but it's loaded with cultural. How the hell is gardening loaded with cultural baggage? I mean, I've heard of the odd uphill gardener, but this is nonsense. This is just nonsense speak again from the Guardian. I think it's time we ditched the Guardian. These legacy newspapers are just a joke. They really are. And speaking of jokes, like Jeremy Vine stuns fans announcing that he's bisexual live on TV in awkward blunder. No. Right, first of all, Jeremy Vine doesn't do anything without thinking about it because he's a duplicitous little scheming shit. And I'll put my cards on the table there. He is an obnoxious, ignorant, horrible, perverse, diverse, duplicitous, horrible man. He makes my skin crawl. And he has stunned absolutely no one by saying he's bisexual. I don't even think he's bisexual. But he's stunned no one. I mean, you see him mincing about in a set of heels in the BBC and a skirt and things like that. And it's like, those are his shoes. Because he's a man and he's probably got way bigger feet than any of the women in there. And those shoes he was wearing fitted him perfectly. Those are his shoes. So the guy's just a creepy, and I can't say what I really think because you know where this would go. Compromised. I think the guy's a Fruit Loop. I think he's just horrible. I mean, he's just horrible. I mean, look at him swanning about London on his bike as if he owns a place, pretending to be a cop, filming people and reporting them. And I mean, what kind of person does that? And if you're not a cyclist, you know, I mean, what kind of person does that? Really? You want to be a cop? Go and be a cop. Don't prance about on a bike pretending you're holier than thou and then running down the pavement on your bike, you know? And of course the bike wankers go, but you know, only 40 people a year are killed by cyclists on pavements. Oh, only? One death was too many for COVID, but only 40 people a year are killed by cyclists on pavements. Yeah, I'm like, thanks for making my point for me. You know, I mean, that's just ridiculous. He is a weird sicko. You're right, Adam. Right, where was I going to go? Where am I going now? Oh yeah, I've actually done that already. The general. Yeah, okay. How many British brigades could be sent to NATO's eastern flank? Yeah. Have we got any brigades left? Remember, we can't fill a football stadium. Right. Meanwhile, in Scottish news, Israeli authorities have impounded a fire engine which was donated by Scottish firefighters to Palestine. The Fire Brigades Union has delivered a letter to the Israeli embassy demanding its release. What can you make of that? We donated a fire engine and the Israelis have impounded it. Oh my God. And it always, I still laugh when I see Scottish firefighters or whatever because, and you know, if you're a fireman, fair play to you, you know. I mean, you guys are nuts. I've been in fires, it's not nice. But when they changed their name from firemen to firefighters, the hilarity in the police was incredible because there's always been a bit of rivalry or hatred between the two services. And yeah, the hilarity in the police. I don't think the firemen have ever lived it down. It was a scream. Right, moving on. This is completely outrageous. And again, we're in Scotland. A foreign paedophile, Peter File, who abused his stepdaughter and two of her cousins, has been allowed to stay in Scotland because deporting him would breach his right to a family life. The man, in his 50s, originally from Central Africa, was found guilty of the vile attacks on 3 young girls. The severity of the offences meant he was to be automatically sent back to his homeland. But even though his victims were members of his extended family, his deportation was blocked as he claimed his family life would suffer. Well, yeah, this is the worst possible decision that a court could make. He's doing it to his family, and he's been allowed to stay because removing him would affect his family's lives and him. Yeah, for the better. His family would be better off without him. It is. I just find it disgusting, and I don't. I mean, we've spoken about courts in the past, at great length, and I think the judicial system is a complete and utter mess. It's riddled with people like Peters. They are. The judicial system and the legal profession is really disgusting. I just have no respect for them whatsoever. Because look at the kind of stuff they come out with, and then they put people in the jail for saying nothing in real terms on places like Facebook and X. That's just crazy. That is two-tier policing. It really is. Oh, absolutely disgusting. Right, yes, our friend Ed isn't here tonight because he is in disarray, as he has put all his stuff away because he is getting his flat decorated. He did give me an update today and indicates that he's quite pleased with the colour choices he's made. So, if it's orange, we're all going to laugh. And we're going to laugh long and loud, but I don't think it will be. But yeah, I look forward to seeing it. Hopefully, he should be up and running for next Thursday. And we'll see how that goes. So that should be quite good. Right, the Express here. Panic in UK City as horde of rats escapes from massive sinkhole with locals terrified. A tide of chittering vermin has enveloped a housing estate and destroyed 22 vehicles, according to reports. Well, yeah, okay, but so this happened in Nottingham beside a block of flats. There's a sinkhole developed and they put a plastic lid on it, but they haven't filled it in like that. So they reckon the sinkhole is leading into the sewer and the rats are coming and going as they please. Yes, I think it's probably giving the rats more access, but you're never, if you live in a city, you're never more than what is it, 3 meters or something from a rat? If you're in London, you're a damn sight closer. But yeah, and these cars that are getting destroyed, I think they're climbing into the engine bays and things when the things are warm and chewing on the odd cable, I think that's what's happening, but it's not, it's nothing like the headline. You think there'd be streams of rats roaming the streets. Julie's kitchen is orange. Yes, but you're not Dutch, my dear. You're not Dutch, are you? Right. Where are we? Oh, here we go. I snapped this evening. This is Gridwatch, which is quite a good site. So as you can see, we're really on the path to net zero. Nuclear power's giving us 10%. The old gas turbine's giving us 48% of our energy needs as of 16:50 this evening. So, solar gives you nothing anyway, because even during the day, you're hardly getting any solar now. And wind is giving us 15%. Okay. And then we've got a storm coming tonight. So the winds are to be over 70 mile an hour or something tomorrow. So you won't get any wind out of Scotland because that's too fast, I think. You've got to put the brakes on, although over speed, and you'll end up with disaster. And then when you look down at the rest of it and balance it out, 16 or 14 or 16% of our electricity is coming from abroad. So we're buying it from abroad. You know, France, Netherlands, Ireland, Iceland. No, Iceland does it? No, Norway, something like that. But we're buying our electricity from abroad. Look at the amount of it. Everything under hydro there. Everything under hydro, which is the blue bits, is buying it from abroad. Apart from the 2% that we're selling back. Absolutely crazy. 1.21 gigawatts indeed. I think we should go back. I'd love to go back in time, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you like to go back in time? I was watching something on YouTube earlier on, and it was science fiction movies of the 70s and why were they so good? And I don't actually think even that the science fiction movies of the 70s were particularly great. Some of them had great ideals, you know. But the movies themselves, like Logan's Run, great idea, but not necessarily well executed, or not the best movie, especially with the choice of actor. I mean, Jenny Agutter, yes. Michael York, he's like if you slowed down and gave him less expressions than Keanu Reeves, you know, that's the kind of actor Michael York is. But yeah, it was. But yeah, I mean, there's stacks of good stuff in there, like Silent Running and oh god, well, obviously Star Wars, but before Star Wars, you had Alien as well, and you just had so many good movies from the 70s. Great movies, in effect. 2001. I think it was even Slaughterhouse 5. You know, there was a lot of good movies, and I think it was a great time. In fact, one of the movies, Zardos, is Sean Connery in a very questionable outfit. You want THX? Yeah, that was there as well. That was his first movie. George Lucas's, that was, as a director, I believe. But if you want a laugh, if you've never seen Zardos, you don't need to watch the movie if you don't want to. It's not a bad movie. I remember I saw it in Hong Kong. But Sean Connery has a very, very questionable outfit in it. You really need to look at it. Thigh length boots and very little else. It's just, it's quite funny. Go and look it up. Michael York does look a bit like a Thunderbird puppet. You're right. Well, yeah, Soldier's right. They're buying Russian gas off China. Of course we are, because it's all getting shipped around and repurposed, and then it doesn't become Russian once it's gone through another country, is it? So, right. This was quite interesting, I found. So there was a pro-Palestine march in London today, and this guy with I don't know, what do they call these stupid little hats they wear on the back of their head? That covers the crown of their head. I don't even know what it's all about. But this guy was wearing one, and this cop was saying to him, "You're quite openly Jewish. This is a pro-Palestine march. You will be escorted out of this area. Or if you choose to remain here, you will be arrested, because your presence here is antagonizing a large group of people." This is a free country? Is it? I don't think it is. I don't think the police have the capability. Farm Girl Rebel, good evening. I don't think the police have the capability of managing the situation, especially in London. They just don't. It's I think we're back to everything, you know. It's like, if you want to protest something, that's fine. First of all, I can't understand why you're protesting, because it's not like we can really make any difference. You know, you stop supplying arms to Israel. Yeah, okay, that's not going to make any difference, because you know where all the stuff comes from. It comes from America. So you're wasting your time. You'd be better just camping out in front of the American embassy if you want to protest that particular conflict. So there's no point in running through the streets of London. But of course they will do that, because there's a large contingent of people that feel a connection to that area. So yeah, but to be arrested just because you are a different faith is completely out of order. Because you're in an area where other people are protesting something, you know. I mean, even in Scotland, when we have, orange marches, where you get the Orange Lodge going on a march, and they always slow down or stop outside the chapel and give it tonka with their stupid drums and thingy. You know, nobody stops people doing these things because they had the right to do it. And if they started fighting with each other, yes, they would be arrested if they started fighting. But, you've got to allow people a certain degree of freedom. And, the police are getting to the point now you're not allowed any kind of freedom, are you? You're not allowed the freedom to go against the current thing. I support current thing and that's fine. But you want to go against it? Oh no, you can't do that. And then the next thing your door's getting caved in. We want to talk to you about your thoughts may not be quite proper as you put them forward on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. Yeah. So Ray says, if a guy in a Liverpool football top was walking near Man U, do you think a cop might suggest he push off? Well, why would he? Why would a cop do anything? Why should a cop do anything? It's not up to the cop to tell people what to do. Unless they're breaking the law. And, I think if people in a Man U top can't walk past Liverpool or whatever, then that's a problem with, one, football fans, two, society. That's not a police issue. That's something that's deeply wrong with society. And football has turned into complete and utter tribalism because there is no need for this to have occurred. People have allowed people to become part of a rampaging mob effectively when they go to a football match. And that's quite disgusting. And for people to think that that's okay to behave like that, that's particularly bad. I've policed many a football match, and I am disgusted by 90% of the people that go to these matches because they do turn into a rampaging mob. They seem to lose all sense and sensibilities. They're screaming obscenities at people for no real reason because this is supposed to be a game. It's supposed to be entertainment. It's like being back in the bloody, the Colosseum. What are these people thinking? really? And yet, there's no reason for that to be like that. None at all. And you go to, you go to America and you go to an American football match and you don't get the same tribalism, People will laugh and joke with each other. You go to an ice hockey game in Canada and the Canadians take their ice hockey really seriously and the fans are all mixed up, And people don't fight each other because they're there to watch the entertainment and to have a good time and to support their team. That's fine. But football's just disgusting to me. And, it's the fans that have made it disgusting. And if you don't like that, then I'm sorry, but that's just my view. Football is a completely lost sport. It's not a sport anymore. It really isn't. It's disgusting. Yeah, Glasgow Rangers and Celtic is some of the worst. Some of the absolute worst. And you get people coming from all over the country to support Glasgow Rangers or Celtic because of their religion. It's still so bigoted. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. No, I'm not a fan of any football team, mate. I don't. I think I made it quite plain how I feel about football. I think it's an anathema to me. I just don't like it at all. Anyway, I shall move on. I thought this was quite good. You got to give Community notes there. You got to give them a credit here. So this guy goes, "We're selling our baby trebuchet. We only used it a couple of times. PM me for a quote." And the Community, the reader context us, "This is not a baby trebuchet. It's a baby catapult. A trebuchet has a counterweight." Touché. Touché. Babylonian tablet. Complaining, so this is a Babylonian tablet from 1750 BC, before Christ. Complaint about delivery of the wrong grade of copper. I don't know if it's real or not, but it's funny. It would, and you know, I could believe that would be real, because why wouldn't someone complain about it? Now, I picked this up last night because this is the best photograph we have. Oh, right. So this, do you remember Oumuamua, or whatever it was called, that long cylindrical piece of rock stroke alien spaceship that came in on an interstellar course, skipped past the sun and then accelerated away and changed direction. Okay. So that is the best picture that we actually have of it. That is a real picture of Oumuamua, or whatever it's called. It's circled there in the blue circle. That dot is the best picture. So I don't know how you can tell what that is, because if you actually read into it, they said that it could be shaped like anything. The only reason they made up the thing was it was long and like a cigar was because of the way they were getting different light patterns off it, but it could have just as easily have been a disc. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. And then of course, see, this is the part about science, or physics in particular, that gets me just now, because they just make shit up. They make shit up to prove their theories. So this thing's gone round the sun and come out the other end, and it's changed its trajectory from what it should have been. Now there's no thoughts that it was a comet, because there's no tail or anything. So we're not really thinking there'd be any sublimation of gases, which could possibly give it a push one way or the other, which might account for it changing trajectory. But guys come up with things like, it's a dark comet. It's like, what the freaking hell is a dark comet? So apparently a dark comet now is something that was created where there was ice and water in combination with a lot of radioactivity that cracked some of the water into hydrogen, but it was captured inside the ice. So as it's got near the sun, the ice has melted and the hydrogen gas has escaped and pushed the comet off its trajectory. It's a kind of stretch. But this is physics making up things you can't see to explain theories that they've just pulled out of thin air. And it's like, dark matter and dark energy. That's completely... The James Webb Space Telescope has put that in the bin. Everything that the James Webb Space Telescope has observed has gone against dark matter and dark energy. So, two things that were made up to explain the formation of galaxies and planets and, the universe as an entirety have been completely discredited by the James Webb Space Telescope. In fact, but nobody mentions the fact that the observations that the telescope has made completely align with modified Newtonian dynamics, or MOND as it's called. But nobody mentions that. They just say, oh, it kind of goes against dark energy and dark matter, but nobody mentions that it actually supports the opposing theory because these guys are too invested. They're too invested in the theory that, the current theory. Because if they're not on the current theory, they won't get funding. And this explains all the crap that happens in science, from medicine to climatology to physics. It's all funded by people who want a particular outcome. And if your job is to find out stuff that aligns with the people that are paying you, what are you going to do? Unless you're a very, very strong character, you're going to go along with it because you're going to go, I don't want to lose my house. I need to feed my family. So really, I find it quite poor. And in some respects, you really want to harken back to the days of the backroom scientist, the guy tinkering in his shed who could have been Tesla or whatever, because if you're not being funded, then you're not having to find the results that those people funding you want, Gunky says, Douglas Adams said the scientists discovered the missing matter was all the foam packaging their equipment came in. That could be true. But let me just talk about the British in this instance, because I saw something, this guy on YouTube or whatever it was, and I end up watching a lot of YouTube, obviously. I don't know what I've done with I don't know what's wrong with the lighting in here. But anyway, I'll fix it the next time. But this guy on YouTube was going on about scams on Amazon, and he's going, we're still getting scammed. And he was buying bubble wrap. I don't know why. Don't ask. So he's buying bubble wrap, and he bought this bubble wrap 100 meters by 500 mil. Okay. And a big roll of bubble wrap arrives, and he bought it from another company as well. And he bought it from his trusted supplier. So he gets a big tape measure and measures out his garden, which is 30 meters. It's a big garden, right? Stakes down the bubble wrap and unrolls it for 30 meters, stakes it down, comes back, because you'd need to do this three times and still have 10 meters left if it's a 100-meter roll. But the first time, he only got to 54 meters and he'd ran out. And then the second roll from the other company, he got to 59 and a half meters. So, he's like, then he goes and rolls it all up. He's going, I'm sending this back. And he's 100% right. And these people could literally be making a fortune, because if you think you're buying 100 meters of bubble wrap and you're only getting 60% of it, they're charging you, 40% more than you're actually getting. So they're quite right. I did speak about Jaguar Brit, mate. Yeah, spoke about that early doors. But yeah, it's the British psyche, isn't it? Because he's obviously got this roll of bubble wrap because it was cheap. It was only like a tenner on Amazon, and I don't know how much. He never told us how much a roll of bubble wrap from his trusted supplier was, but you could see the difference. When you put your arm around it, he couldn't make his arms meet with the trusted supplier roll, but with the other roll, he could get his hands like that. The great bubble wrap scam of Amazon. Yeah. I mean, the things you find out, it's amazing. They probably do. Yeah. I bet someone does have a channel unrolling. In fact, I bet someone's got a channel where they just pop bubble wrap. Just like those what are they, ASMR things. Yeah. I bet they do. Could start a channel like that, couldn't you? Right. It's a classic. I'm sure he's absolutely gutted as well. Vladimir Putin is barred from a pub in Burton-on-Trent. This is from Surrey Live. The landlady of the Loaf and Cheese says her punters would wreck him. Yeah, okay. What would you do with this? Oh. Look at that. Yeah, look at her face. Now, where are you coming in here, Putin? Or is she chewing a caramel? Oh, good God. This is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We're actually coming to the end, but I've got something. I've got a treat. Got a treat after the slides. So there's Ellen. I'm moving to England because Trump won. What did she say? I don't know. Something about being on Epstein's client list, or Diddy's party list. So this woman has had one hell of a wild ride in her life. I spent 4 hours of my life having sex and snorting anything in my path, men, women, and I really loved a certain thing. Now I homeschool our 4 children, love my husband unconditionally, and tend to our garden and livestock. I got my happy ending and it didn't happen because I blah blah blah. Those were an action-packed 4 hours, weren't they? Yeah. Ellen's already here. She's off her nut. Imagine coming to this shithole. But having, well, yeah. Yeah, I can't get over it. Well, actually, is that it? Oh my goodness. Well, that's okay because that's right. What's happening in the chat? Soldier trying to change sciences, like trying to. Skin says trying to change sciences, like trying to give a lion a filling while he's still awake. You got a fair point there, mate. You got a fair point there. Have you spoken about Jaguar? Yeah, you're right, Skins. Did your squirrel visit Julie? It's a squirrel girl. Apparently that's a superhero. Squirrel girl. Right. Oh, that's about it. Is that'll keep Vlad up? Yeah, I'm sure he's gutted about it. I'm sure he's absolutely gutted. Yeah, I would. Was Soldier asking about Ben? Yeah, he's got a different channel. He's descended into fantasy. But having said that, so have I, because I've got the cult. I've got the cult of UFO, and I quite like it. Yeah, Joe Rogan, Dragon Believer. And did you see that? Bitcoin hit 100k. Yeah, well, yay, Bitcoin. And no, oh my God, the squirrel knocks the window for food. You're as bad as Ed. Don't encourage these things. They're meant to be wild animals. They're supposed to be going out eating for themselves. What's going to happen when you die? The squirrel comes to knock the window and some guy punches it, you know? After he's taken your house, you know? Right. Anyway, as I said, I've got a rare treat for you. What I'm going to show you is Scottish traffic. And we're going to look at the 3D trunk road gritter tracker. Because Scotland names its gritters. Right? So Scotland names its gritters, and I think what happens is people send in, things to the local council, and they seem to have taken this and run with it because it is quite humorous. I find it. So here's the 3D gritter tracker, right? And if we look, I mean, you won't be able to read them probably, but down here, this one is Robert Burns. So that's, and then we've got up here, we've got License to Chill. We've got For Your Ice Only. We've got Gritalica, Polar Bear Explorer. That's pretty tame. And then we've got what's this one? What's this one called? Mr. Plow. That'll be from The Simpsons. Blizzard of Oz. What have we got up here? Frosty the Snowplow. Mr. Snow, let's go. Blizzard Wizard. Salty Claus. Grit and Bear It. This'll do nicely. Sammy Salt. Olaf Snowfret Roads. Olaf Snow Free Roads. Sorry. What we got here? That was not named. There's a gritter in a loch. What's going on? Anyway, William Wall Ice. That's quite funny. I like that. The Grittass Chronicles. The Granite Gritter. What's this? Plews Your Twos. I don't. That's probably some kind of Aberdonian thing. We'll just leave that one. They're strange up there. That Aberdeen country. It's a weird place. Don't go up there. And then there's the Kingdom of Fife, which is this bit here. You know, that's a weird place as well. What have we got here? We've got Ice till la vista, baby. And then we have Always Be Grit. Always Be Gritful. Walter the Salter. That's straightforward. Oh my gritty aunt. Blizzard. That one. Why did these? Why has? Oh, Blizzard Bear. Don't go gritting my heart. Some of these are ridiculous. Why are some of them not got names? I think this is playing up. Escape Bush. Grit Talk. The Grittest Snowman. Oh, Mr. Snow, that's a bit tame. Gritney Spears. Quite like that. Troonraker. That is true as well. What have we got? Snowing me, snowing you. I'm finding that's quite funny. I hope you guys are. What's this one? Street. Oh, Penelope Gristop and something Mercury. I can't really read that one. The Snow Bother. License to Chill. Grit a Bit. Anyway, you only grit ice. Gritting on. What does that say? Gritting on way it. Calvin Har Ice. Han Snow Low. There's another Gritney Spears. That's two Gritney Spears. Because there's Gritney Spears there, and there's Gritney Spears there. I doubt very much that they would be crossing over. So there you go. I thought that was quite humorous. What's that gritter doing down there? That's Englandshire. That's a gritter. Is that a gritter in England? Anyway, yeah. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that. I thought it was quite funny. Anyway, it's probably enough of the nonsense tonight. Where are we now? Anything else we want to talk about, people? Let me check and see. Oh no! Oh, Mr. Penguin. Mr. Penguin's on Twitter. Hello, Mr. Penguin. You really need to read this. You really need to make a thread about your door lock thing, Mr. Penguin. It's freaking hilarious. Right, I think that's probably... Well, hey, we've done an hour. That's all right. I can't complain at that. We've filled in an hour. So there you go. Now, I don't know if you guys are getting it tomorrow as well, but apparently we're getting 70 mile an hour winds and incredible rain and risk of flood and amber alerts for snow and ice at the start of about 5 a.m. Gunky said we had a plasterer turn up called Empty Van. I said empty van. Nice one. Indeed. Indeed. That is indeed a nice one. So with that, I think we're pretty much done. It's been great for you.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place.